Yes guys, how are things? We're back with another installment on the Road to Show series. We're currently 37 days out, 5 weeks, 2 days out from the show. First show ever, September 15th, Classic Physique in Derry, PCA. But yeah, we're sitting at 95 on the dot today. Not the lowest weight yet. We had a little bit of a refeed about 4 or 5 days ago. We kind of dropped some fatigue, couple of days off the gym, couple of days off cardio, bit of extra food. So we're a bit more filled up, a bit heavier, but we should see new lows in the next few days. However, today should be the leanest and best luck yet. Feeling pretty good after that. Deload, we pulled back a little bit. Fatigue was getting quite high, but now we're ready to dig coming into these last 5 weeks. So ideally, we want to get things wrapped up fat loss wise about 10-15 days beforehand so we can coast in, drop off a little bit of cardio, maybe add food in towards the end a little bit to remove fatigue. But we definitely still have another 4 or 5 kilos to come off. So it's, both feet firmly on the gas right now, trying to dig and get as much off as we can so that I can rest up and coast into the show. So anyway, taking you guys through a pull session today. I'm going to be dropping tons of tips and tricks so you can get fucking massive too. So follow along. And if anyone has any questions about the show, prep, anything, pull, biceps, anything at all, drop me a DM and I will chat to you guys after.
Don't test me.
You don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me. Nah. Don't test me.
Yo, you don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me. Nah. Don't test me.
Yo, they wouldn't let me. Man's gal wanna come undress me. Swing with the right, but I might go lefty. I made plus with it, so don't test me. They wouldn't let me. Man's gal wanna come undress me. Swing with the right, but I might go lefty. I made plus with it, so don't test me, nah. You don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me. Nah. Don't test me.
You don't impress me, so don't test me, nah.
So don't test me. Nah. Don't test me.
So we're starting off with a Nautilus lat pull down. This is the GOAT of lat pull down machines. Doing it single arm because I can get a better connection with my lats when I do it single arm. Just because as you get bigger, get a little bit wider, a little bit less mobile, I tend to find it's far better doing especially your back work single arm, especially lats. You can really get that good squeeze. So starting off, this is a lat focused pull workout. And if you really want to take your back training, take your back development to the next level, you need to start being a bit more specific for your programming and training. So I have one slightly more upper back focused back session. This is a slightly more lat focused. So you can see the first movement when I'm freshest, the lat bias movement, and then throughout this session volume, most volume's going towards the lats, whereas the other back session's the opposite. So back's something that has been a big weakness for me for the last probably 2 years. I'm doing things like this, specific programming, volume, paying attention to execution, intensity. All these little variables have accumulated over the last 1.5 to 2 years into back being one of my better body parts, especially the lats. So you'll see at the end, I'm gonna do a strip tease for you all. You'll see how good the back is looking, and in my opinion, it's come on the most in the last 2 years. So start being a little bit more specific with your back training if you want to really want to take it to the next level.
Testing 1 2 1 2. There's a little something for you, you little biatch.
Watch my 9mm go bang. Watch my 9mm go bang.
The Nautilus lat pull down machine, arguably the GOAT of all lat pull down machines. So here's a couple of cues as to how to get it set up. So number one, do it single arm, especially if you're bigger, taller, you're gonna wanna do it single arm so you get a good connection. So down into the seat, and you'll see I laterally flex a little bit. So this is me straight on. What I'm gonna do is grab onto this handle to brace and drop my left shoulder, so working shoulder down closer to my hip. And then I also externally rotate. So watch the bicep, faces the roof, and my elbow is pointing up. So that externally rotating the shoulder, that helps get the lat into a better position. And all I do is row down. And on the way up, I be careful not to let my shoulder, I let my shoulder protract, so move away, but I don't let it elevate too much, because once you let it elevate, come up, you put the upper back in a mechanically better position. So keep that shoulder sort of down, externally rotated, boom, row down. Not a great set of lats. So as I said, this is a lat focused session. So first movement, lat pull down, is a lat biased movement, obviously. Now we're on to an upper back row, prime mid back row. My favorite upper back machine row in all the land. So this is a bit more upper back focused. And you'll see we're overloading middle peg, midpoint, wee bit of load on the lengthen. So this is about 20% lengthened, 80% mid. Not something you really need to worry about on the prime kit if you're a beginner. If you get a little bit more advanced, you can start to play around with these little things and force that little extra percent out of the muscles, get them that little bit close to true failure. But second movement, upper back, then we rotate back to a lat movement and then back to an upper back. So we zigzag lat, upper back, but because most of the volume and because we're doing the lats when we're freshest, the first movement, it's a bit more lat biased. So yeah, if you want to take your back training to the next level, make sure you're allocating a certain amount of volume to both. You want a well-developed back, not just everything lats, not just everything upper back. Pay attention to these little things. Write that down. It's a wrap up across both them sets. So something that's very important when you're in the latter stages of a dieting phase, whether it's photo shoot, whether it's bodybuilding show prep, whether it's just a diet, whatever it is, performance is key. You want to do your utmost to maintain your performance, your strength, all the way to the end of that diet. That's what's going to keep the muscle on. If you start lifting significantly less weight, you're going to lose a lot of muscle. What built it keeps it. So you have to be smart with your recovery as you're progressing through the diet, because recovery capabilities get less and less, especially as your food goes down, activity goes up, maybe your sleep starts to suffer. So one thing I've been doing is auto-regulating. So some days when I don't feel as good, we drop off a set here and there. We take deloads when necessary, take days off when necessary. I know when to pull back and when to go hard. And that's something that's just taken a few years of experience and learning my body. So I'm still doing a pretty good job managing decent volume. So trying to keep the volume and load as high as possible, as high as I can recover from and still progress all the way to the end. But over the next few weeks, probably a few more sets will start to drop off, just to make it a little bit easier to recover, because it's a lot easier to maintain muscle tissue than it is to grow. So if it takes 20 sets a back to grow, you can probably maintain an 8 to 10. So at this point in prep, it's about maintaining as much tissue. I'm not trying to grow and add 5 kilos in the last couple of weeks. So doing my utmost to maintain load here and progress where I can. Write that down.
This rhythmatic explosion is what your frame of mind has chosen. I'll leave your brain stimulated.
Movement in, we're back on a lat focused movement. This is lat bias row on the prime mid back row. So the way I set this up, do it single arm, chest pad here, using these knee pads, driving my shin against it. And whenever I have the weight like this, okay, again, I'm gonna drop the shoulder down. So laterally flex and externally rotate. So look at that bicep, it starts to face the roof, externally rotate, and then boom, rowing elbows into the hips. And on the negative, I let the shoulder come forward, but not elevate. I let it move forward, but not up. And then boom, elbows down and low. And grow a big set of fucking lats. One more set of this. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Don't nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight. Said by the GOAT, Ronnie Coleman. Incline cable curls, the fucking GOAT of bicep exercises, okay? This is one of my favorites. So you'll see I actually have the chest support too. That just gives me a little bit more stability, right? We always want to look for ways to make exercises more challenging, where we create more stability and create more tension on the target muscle. If I was to remove this back pad, might be a little bit more momentum. I might be able to swing a bit more and take tension off the biceps. So use this back pad, arms externally rotated, keep the elbows behind the torso throughout, chest out, and just curl until the guns are bursting the sleeves. One more bicep movement, then we're fucking done.
Ain't gonna wake up at they sleep. You can't hear that switch, but you can hear them niggas scream. All my hoes do shrooms, nigga. All my hoes do coke. 20-carat ring, I put my fingers down her throat. If I lose a carat, she might choke. I know she gon' swallow, she'll go. Free bad nigga, bring the rats in. Got the shooters in the corner, like the pack in. She think 'cause she was at it, bitch, she a track. That's that shit.
Last set. And then the fucking day's, well, I was gonna say the day's done, but the day's not done. Pull workout's done. One more set. Machine single arm preacher curl, one of my favorite bicep movements. This, along with a combination of the incline cable curl over there, hits the bicep from all angles. Because a fully stretched bicep is a elbow that's straight and elbow that's behind the body. That's a fully lengthened bicep, and a fully contracted bicep is a bicep tensed, and then that elbow high in front of the body, and that's exactly what we're mimicking here. So here's the setup. I do these one arm at a time. I'm gonna dig my elbow, line my elbow up with this axis of rotation here, and I've got the seat nice and low so that I sit down into it, and I've got a good bit of leverage. Non-working arm here, chest trying to turn away, create that distance, and boom, just curling up like that. And that's gonna grow the pythons. Write that down. Follow me for more tips.
Yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak this and first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like fuck rap. This Melly Mel if I had to.
Here we are, 37 days out on my first bodybuilding show, competing in classic physique. And so this is a little physique update, showing you guys how we're looking at about 37 days out. Still a wee bit more to go, but hammers down, hammers dropped, and gas to the floor. So this is how we're looking.